Okay, welcome to our workshop on reviewing the 2025-2026 budget and to determine necessary amendments. Particularly, we're going to focus on water, wastewater, and sanitation. So with that, this meeting has begun. Okay, so city manager,
Thank you, Mayor. We did schedule this budget workshop on October 21st. Being that there are a number of high priority water infrastructure amendments that need to be made in order for us to move forward with the project. Some include the Skyway Gardens food development, issues with the city pool, and we are aware of the animal incinerator that we need to purchase half of as well. So I think that should be all part of the conversation this evening. But Victoria did provide some documents for you to review, focusing on the water, wastewater, sanitation budget workshop. And then, of course, we can just get any input and direction from the council on how we want to move forward. Particularly, I think we should focus on the budget amendment that will be considered this evening as well. I have been in touch with our engineers and based on the time frame, it looks like we should be able to work with Skyway Gardens and get everything rolling and done by then. But I think it's really going to be good to consider that the funding is available. At the next meeting, I will have the agreement, or I should have the agreement from Jacob Martin to officially for y'all to accept that work and get started on that process. So those, I think, are the key items to discuss this evening.
okay, great, thank you. Okay, Victoria, would you like to begin?
Okay, I don't, if you look at this handout, I did have the opportunity to visit with Michael regarding the staff within the water and wastewater. So your first page provides a breakdown as to the positions that we currently have filled and the ones that we have vacant, as well as his recommendation on a couple of positions.
Next one. No
It's
problem.
okay.
But it won't count.
All right.
So one of the things that Michael did mention is the assistant utility director. It is currently vacant, but I know he's working towards filling the position. That position is going to absorb the responsibilities of the administrative assistant as well as the compliance technician. So he felt that the director would be able to handle those positions as well. So that is why they're flagged as eliminated.
So is that already listed on the website? Do we have applicants?
Believe, yes.
We have one applicant who she already works here, and we think that her background is perfectly aligned for the types of responsibilities of the assistant utility director. So we are, moving forward with the interview process, and we'll hopefully be able to make a determination on that soon.
Great. Any TCEQ experience?
She worked for 15 years for TCD,
Whew.
actually. So a lot of our
Mhm.
compliance issues, it'd be great for her to be on board. So I
Okay.
think she's a good candidate so far.
Okay, great.
As far as the utility technicians, they have all been filled within the water department. On the wastewater, we still do have two vacancies. And so I know that he is currently looking at that one as well.
Okay, is that
To
also
fill- to
listed?
fill.
Is that already posted?
No, not yet.
Okay,
Other than that, Mike does seem to think that he can manage everything with the lead and copper in-house without hiring additional persons. And I know Councilor Stevens proposed allocating 100,000 in the budget amendment, so that's something to consider. Whether or not, Victoria can speak to this, but I believe definitely at least the compliance technician is budgeted. These both might be budgeted.
Mhm.
I don't know, possibly saving it just in case. The assistant utility director will have a lot of her plate for sure, from what we're expecting. We think she can handle quite a bit. However, again, that's just something to consider if you want to make amendments on that 100,000 that was going to be allocated for the lead and copper manpower.
okay.
And that would probably mean that there really is no need for that particular budget amendment, right?
For that
Mhm.
portion of it.
So Mike, you want to come on up to the podium? Sorry.
Bring up your food. We'll
Yeah.
be chatting for
So,
a while.
let's talk about the lead and copper. You think it can completely be done?
Yes, and I spoke with Vicky earlier in regards to that. I think we can get, we don't have to, we can hire in-house. We don't have to do it hire outside. I think I'm gonna see whatever some guys that are interested in and move forward that way.
Okay,
Is that, did I answer your question or?
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we have, right now, the budget amendment for council is $1.2 million. 100,000 was for lead and copper.
Okay.
What I hear you saying is take that out,
Yes.
and now we're down to 1.1, which is 900,000 for Skyway Gardens and to work that.
Okay, so the stipulation is, there's a small one here. Let's say I run into complications, then I have to address it, Vicky.
Mhm.
So I can't guarantee that there's not gonna be any hiccups. But let's say something happens down the pipeline, then I'm gonna have to ask for, hey, you need something.
But
That's
you've got
fine.
2 years to get it done, right?
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
that's why I thought you had 2 years. I was just trying to push you along. But my put, given where we are, because we don't know what we have in terms of fund balance,
Right.
would be to take that 100,000 out, allow you to press forward. Knowing if you gotta come back, you'll come back and say, hey, council, I couldn't quite get it done. I'm approaching the deadline, that's a risk.
Mhm.
Yes, exactly. That's fair.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That
that's
sounds like a
fair.
great.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a great.
Okay.
And the other thing, Michael, that I did mention was that, we are not filling the administrative assistant position or the compliance technician because of the new utility, assistant director's position.
Yes, ma'am, that's
And
correct.
so those two salaries are currently within the budget. So if you do find the need that we need to say we're pressed for time, that money is still in there.
Okay.
I would not recommend removing it or decreasing, just in case something does come up. We have that.
And
That-
that's
that's
my
right.
concern is
Mhm.
because I know, that y'all are fully competent to do it. And I know that the candidate that we're looking at now is very qualified. It's just my concern is that they're gonna be doing work orders, like the TCEQ violations that we have a pile of that we need to address. And all of those duties. So I think as long as we have that available and that you keep that in the back of your mind, that if she needs help, we can, hire a lead and copper
Mhm.
person. Because well, I'm guessing it would be the assistant utility director you would have managing that, right? None of your other staff.
Lead and copper? Yes, so what I wanted to do was get the guys or the team together and just say, hey, I need a couple guys that are interested in doing the lead and copper. And then I know there's a couple that are interested, so we're kind of putting them together and just kind of moving forward that way. My biggest concern also, and I know it's I don't mean to deviate from the topic, is the meters, of course, once we get those, and once we get the software, I'm assuming it streamlines a little better. And then we can have a little more fluidity and all that. How do you do it? And then once we get acclimated to the way to read them, I think it should be easier and a little more manageable, and it'll free up more time. That makes sense. Does that make sense? Or-
Yeah, it is. Where my headset is, trying to get you enough to get the southeast side done. Make sure you address the clay valves. Work your upper lower hill,
Mhm.
and then the fourth was lead and copper. So and since we don't know where we're at from a fund balance standpoint. The whole purpose behind this was to say, where are you money wise for this year coming up? How much of the 1.2 that I had in a budget amendment for us to consider last week or 2 weeks ago this week? To get the numbers down so we can move forward with the things that need to happen and still live within a budget. Without having to say, because we're not gonna know until next June, where our fund
Right.
balance is. That's our struggle.
Mhm.
Okay, and, and as I've said, the choices are four. You gotta cut somewhere, you gotta raise rates, you gotta raise taxes, or you gotta go out for debt.
Raising would be pretty difficult. Would you not agree? Because
That's my view is the last three, no one wants to do those. Okay, so at some point we may have to, just from the pure cost standpoint, we're trying to understand where we're at.
okay.
To get through this near-term crisis, as I view.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do.
Fair enough.
So what is it, what's his, out of his total budget then, how much is people?
You know what um. you looking at just the water first?
I'm just looking right now, water, yeah, that's the first thing I was gonna look at. So, because what I think I heard was you can live within your dollars per people.
Say that again, I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
That's okay, Mike. You can live within your budget for people,
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
okay? And as part of that, you can absorb getting the lead and copper done.
correct, that is correct.
Okay,
That's great news.
to me, that's the big discussion around people, and you'll manage your people, you've got the vacant spots and all that, but to me, that's what you're trying to do. Okay,
Now, to be honest, like, and I'll reiterate that I'm still, it's still kind of. I wanna say yes, but I don't wanna give you a definitive yes, cause what if 4, 6 months down the line, I'm like, this isn't working.
you're gonna come back and see us.
But,
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
I-
definitely.
That's what I'm, that's my
Yeah,
answer.
yeah, no,
yeah,
that's.
that's what you do.
The best you can do is put together a budget on what you know now. Right now, we know we need to find $1 million for you. That's what we're trying to do, is find $1 million.
Okay.
Okay? And so looking, and if you can live with where you're at right now, based on what you know, great. And if 6 months you gotta come back in, we're gonna have a discussion. You're gonna bring it back in, it's can't get there.
Perfect, that's where I stand there, absolutely.
Okay.
That looks good. And I'm
Yeah.
glad to see all these positions. You only have 3 vacants. One of which sounds like it's close to being filled. That's great.
Yes, ma'am.
And Rich made a great point at the last meeting. We gave you the latitude relative to the qualifications.
Yes,
Okay, so they do not have to have high school diplomas.
they do not have to have the high school diplomas. It's within a year, they have to obtain a high school GED.
Okay, and so we're all square on that.
Yes, we're good on that.
Yes.
Okay,
All worker ones, yeah.
Yeah.
okay, good. Okay, good. So you can run hard.
Yes, that is correct.
But real quick, Mike, looking at this, we all got, I mean, there's a ton of utility technician ones. Why don't we have 2, 3s or whatever?
That's a great question. When I first started in July. I was just, let's get these guys in classes, so I put 5 of them in basic water class. And 2 of them have left, and 3 of them, the only thing they need to do is take the resiliency class, and then they can challenge the exam. Again, they're young. Oh, I think only a few of them are just over a year. I've been pushing them to try to take that exam, and I don't know if they're just apprehensive,
Yeah,
but I need to push that more.
but here's the thing is so like. 'Cause I've known that some of these guys working here, whatever, like Dominic Rubio, Blake, aren't they hired? Like, do they not have?
They're
are they-
licensed, they're licensed, Dom, what is Dom at?
On this spreadsheet, they're all as.
They're all listed as
Technician
utility technician 1.
It's page 2 in that packet right there.
And like, these guys have been here a while, right?
Yeah, Blake has come in. This is his second stint, right?
Yeah, and we
Yes.
might want to double check and see, make sure he's not classified. I think he might be worker 2, to be honest.
Oh,
But like even Dom,
And he might.
been
be
here for a long time.
Well, it's
Yeah,
'cause
Dom-
we compiled this document and I think it was just an oversight on. a
But
couple, maybe.
what I'm saying is like, you know, looking at nothing but utility technician 1s. You know,
Mhm.
what are we doing with, especially guys that have been here for a while? Why aren't we, you know, those are guys we need to push to 2s, 3s. Which means they have more knowledge, they understand exactly what's going on. And I mean, and again, I mean, no fault to you or nothing, because you're new to all this, just
Sure,
like we
sure.
are. And like guys that have been here for a while, like, I don't understand why they're still utility technician 1s, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes
And
sense, that makes
if
perfect.
that's the case, then why aren't we pushing for those ones that have been here for a long time and understand and take workloads, you know, pretty good workloads? Why aren't they, you test, I guess, right? To move up to the next level, or
Yeah, well,
or
let's see.
what is it with the licenses? Like,
Yeah,
depending
what-
on what license you have. You know, I mean, I think Blake and Dom have some licenses, right? That,
Blake is a C and Dom is a D, if I'm not mistaken, so they do have licenses,
Yeah.
they're qualified.
so that's what I'm saying, you know, because they're not your guys that have been here, you know, a short time. They're not utility 1s. I mean, what do we need to do as a city to like push them up to where, you know, they're 2s, 3s, you know, maybe in Randy's department, I don't know where they all stand and, you know, I mean, and I get it, you know, and I hate bring it up, but I mean, I am, you know, paying these guys more, you know, I mean, I know working, you know, oil field and stuff like that, you know, getting promoted, the higher you were, you know, your ranking was, the more money you get, you know, and it kind of made you work for something,
Sure,
for
sure.
something.
Yeah,
And I mean, it was just because it kind of caught me off guard seeing all these ones everywhere, and I'm like, well, man, you know, I mean, why don't we have twos and threes in your department,
Mhm.
you know? And,
According to this study, there's 3 phases per job description.
mhm,
So if you're one, you have to go 3 phases before you can get to the second.
mhm,
Then you have 3 phases on that, one, which means years of service.
mhm,
So that's kind of how that works.
okay. And how many years do you have to be here before you're, I mean, I'm just asking
Looking
questions
at
because I don't know how
the
this works.
Per job description, it could be 1 to 3 years per job description.
Okay.
Also depending on how fast you want to learn and develop,
Mhm,
because that's a big determination too.
And I think we really, again, need to review those because Victoria compiled this and I think it might have been just an oversight when she was going over with it with Mike. I think a couple of them already are utility technician too.
I think
And as
lately,
far as a requirement to become 1 to 2 is they do have to have the C. And then other than that, it requires 2 years of work experience in utilities or a similar.
And just for clarification, I don't determine that. That actually came from payroll.
Right.
So
So,
we need to look.
Yeah,
at
when
that.
I was working on the budget, I requested the data from payroll. And then that's where I was trying to see whether we had any vacancies or extra positions. I honestly feel that there is a possibility that the payroll or HR has not been updated. And so that is something that we really do need to look at and research to see, do we have any, as far as their salary? They have been given either their 3% increase, their cost of living, or the merit raises. So salary wise, I believe they should be at the appropriate rate. But I do feel that as far as the utility, whether it's a 1, a 2, or a 3, may have not been updated over the years as they progress. So that's something that we will definitely
Sure,
to look at
oh, yeah,
and place them where they deserve to be. You know, that's something that we,
you know, so I just wanted to
no, that's
see
a,
what
that's
was
a,
going on, like,
yeah,
I mean, you know, getting 2s, 3s, that means less workload for you because they handle more because they're not the bottom as the, you know, the bottom of your work, you know, your technicians, you know, they're not down at the bottom where they're green and just got here,
Mhm.
you know, and then move up. Okay, well, then you got your level, you know, technician 2, now you got a little more responsibility. You know, you get to level 3, there's a lot more responsibility because I'm guessing by the looks of these things, once a 3, the next thing would be a director,
the director, yeah, manager.
manager, director, supervisor, or something. Mhm.
Yeah, foreman.
So, okay. I just wanted to know, like.
Yeah.
How it worked.
what is a typo are the last 2 positions under the water department that are utility technicians? They were listed as vacant, but they have been filled. Those were
The ones down here with
Sherman and
Richard
Roll.
Wiley,
Mhm.
okay, so they've been filled,
No, not the ones with
With
Richard. the
Ryan
ones
Sherman
who-
and Melendez, Raul Melendez.
oh, okay.
Ryan, we recently filled those and I just forgot to update that.
They're on here.
No, she's talking about
What's
the
that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th column where it says
This one here.
filled.
Oh,
It
okay, I
says
got, it.
vacant, vacant. It should.
And
be
those-
filled.
But they have been filled.
They have been
Oh,
filled.
okay,
The 2 vacant ones that we do have are with the wastewater with Richard.
yes, ma'am.
Those have
Okay.
not been filled. But we'll definitely review their classification and place them where they should be.
Okay,
Vicky on Jaime, you said P, what that P stand for?
That one was hired on a part-time basis.
Oh, part-time.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, continue on, Miss Victoria, please.
So one of the things that had been requested, and I know, Mr. The Ruckus,
Rufus,
what he had wanted was to go down the line items to see what, needed to be in the budget, what wasn't. I know that we were looking at, areas, because there were some that we did not have time to research while developing the budget. And so what I did was just to try and simplify it. I used the same format that we had to present. But I didn't add anything that was like electricity or anything that just really did not require much review.
Mhm.
But like, if you will look at the distribution system, down on the page here, let's say it's page 3 of the,
Mhm.
Yeah.
what I did, and it was great because it did give me an opportunity to see exactly what took place previous year. In case there were any special projects or that we'll know what the purpose is for this line item. So on the distribution system, it's really just maintenance of the system, contracted services, parts, materials. It is what I take it would be just your daily operations. Is that correct, Michael?
Yes, correct.
So then the other one that was a little further down, that we were looking at consulting contract services. And this is where I did say that I would like, that I've started working for next year's budget. To have a little bit more separation on line items so that we can clearly identify what the true service, because some of them do have a contracted service, but then you might have meals in there, or there's just other areas on that. But on consulting, that's where we had Robbie A. Dominguez. You know what? that is?
Oh, he's the guy from Stockton. He's holding the C license until Blake gets his.
Okay. C license. And then out west, Shiplet and Railroad Management were also the other large cost items under that line item. So that to me is also your basic operations that I didn't feel was anything that we needed to either cut or increase on that. Dues and membership fees. We didn't pay anything last year, and the previous year, it was just 135. Are you aware of any fees that we have to?
I don't know anything about that.
And then the next one is road repair. And this is the one that I believe I during our directors meeting, I did visit with you and Randy. Because I do have several line items in the budget that show an expense of road repairs. And then on the other side, a revenue line item. I did visit with our auditor briefly regarding that, because I was like, my concern was I am not properly billing somebody. Because if we have it set up as a revenue, and so there are times within each year when certain expenses for road repairs were flagged and then charged to, if the road repairs were because of a gas line, then it was charged to the gas company and vice versa. And so those are 2 line items within each department's budget that I did notice were considerably higher than what the actual expenditures have been in the past. And I will research this one a bit further, because that means that for 24-25, then I need to look at charging the different departments for that reimbursement for the expense. And that one is pretty much an offset, because we do have it on the revenue side as well as the expense side.
So what happens with us charging the customer when they ask for a tap, that $500 fee for the road repairs?
We do have it listed as a revenue, so it's also being included as part of the department's revenue. And so, I would expect, I haven't had a chance to really research it yet, but I would expect that part of that, you're receiving the revenue and will be applied towards the expense
Okay.
or the cost. And it's, when I did visit with Marlene, she did mention that there's no clear link to any of that, so it does take a while for her to even try and reconcile it on her audit side. And so that's another thing, another area that I'm going to set up separately so that we can clearly identify what we're receiving from the customers as far as the cost reimbursement, as well as what the full expense is. And because if I'm not mistaken, I think some of the road repairs currently, we might not have anything that is identifying that the repair was made because of the gas department. So that is something that we might run into, but we can start for the fall this year and then forward on that. Engineering, I did look that one up because we were slightly over. That one is all part of the Jacob and Martin projects. The JD Water District fees, this was we pay fees for acreage, the underwater, I guess the underground water.
Yes, ma'am.
So I didn't find anything. As far as the SCADA,
So SCADA, as I'm trying to unpack a lot of those, and we didn't use a lot of that budget. But
Mm-mm.
we need to, because a lot of the SCADA system is antiquated, it's just old, and we need to start implementing newer things. So I definitely want to keep that. I know we haven't been using a whole lot of it.
and that had surprised me because I kept hearing about the importance of SCADA.
It's incredibly important.
And so I was just curious as to what.
Yes, absolutely, we
said
need it,
that.
and I plan to use it quite a bit, especially this year, because we hadn't in the past, and we need to update.
Okay.
So I know it's been upgraded at least 4 times since I've been on council. I'd really like to understand what doesn't work.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'd like to know as well. I'm slowly trying to figure it out.
Yep.
I know that we have a contract with James Sipes, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a local guy here by the name of Toby. He's a new guy, and he works in the area. I forgot his last name, but I spoke with him August. And I think he wants to kind of take over and go that route. I know there's like the wastewater, we only have one SCADA system, it only picks up SCADA on one end. A lot of the SCADAs just get wiped out. We're having to change out transducers constantly when we get storms. I know there's some sort of discrepancy with the cellular towers and radio waves. So I'm not sure. I don't want to start lying to you, but there's some sort of I need to get to the bottom of it. I just need some time.
So in my mind, you're doing exactly the right thing. Take the time, but it'd be really helpful because we've gone from a proprietary system to a non-proprietary system from a cellular system to an RF system, and beats
We're
not
spinning our
me.
wheels at this point, so I
Yeah.
definitely need some answers more than, right now I have more questions than answers, but we need
Yeah.
to reverse that.
But we spent a ton of money on.
Yes,
state.
sir, we have.
So it'd be nice to kind of get that well understood.
Yeah, I'll try to get a beat on that as soon as possible.
Okay, yeah, well, you got lots of things to work, Mike, but I know it's a huge tool for you for managing your water distribution system.
Absolutely.
Okay, but thank you.
And the others from the Muskies to the Sunny Glen pump station, there was very little activity. But I also understand that that is something that we need to keep in the budget for
Yes, absolutely.
current operations.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. And my apologies for the questions, but I'm trying to understand so that we can prepare for current year and next year. And that way I don't look like you're in the headlights.
Yeah, same way, don't worry, we're in the same boat.
when I'm
we are.
missed, because it's really very interesting. I'm actually enjoying all the research. Samples, I think we're good. The TCEQ water fee, that's definitely a
Must.
tank maintenance. I did see that in 24, 25. We had the consort engineers for tank maintenance, ROV inspection, water storage tank repairs. And it was higher in 24, 25 than it was in 22, 23, and 23, 24, do you recall any special projects or is it just the increase in cost?
No, I think we did have special, now, I don't quote me on this, but I think we had, there's a scuba team that comes in and they vacuum the tanks, and I think it was an upper and lower hill that they did that.
Oh,
And I know there's a certain time you have to have that done, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen.
okay. And so that one we may need to have something else serviced as well, right? Leased vehicles, leased equipment, all of those are pretty much just justifiable. Okay, so here is the one of the CIP backhoe, where we have been carrying that one forward. And that one is 125,000, and that is the one that I have not seen anything where it has already been dedicated or the purchase. Is there a need or?
Well, let me give you my take on it.
Okay.
I know that, few years, that backhoe is kind of going on its last legs, and we're gonna run it until the wheels fall off of it, but. It was out for 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, not too long ago, right, Gio? Maybe like a month ago. And it really threw us off. When I took it to the motor pool, there's a module that was just caked in mud. And so we had to replace that, and that was the holdup. It sunk halfway in the ground when we were in Sunny Glen about a year and a half ago. And so after that, it's just never been the same. So Ruben, we're taking it to Ruben periodically for preventive maintenance. Just trying to make it last how we can, but in my opinion, I do believe we need a new backhoe. I really believe that, so
Okay.
How many backhoes does the city own?
that's a good question.
Yeah.
We have one in the water, we have one at the wastewater, but that's an old dinosaur, but. I know Streets has one. I think they have 2 backhoes, Streets Department does, so all in all, I think we have 4.
Do you have any, Randy?
Yeah, we have.
Oh, I'm sorry, Randy, I forgot about you.
We purchased it back in 2013,
Uh-huh,
so it's on up there.
uh-huh.
But, I mean, we try to keep the maintenance. We do have the guy come service it when we need it. We keep everything filled, chain, oil, hydraulics. I mean, it's good to have it in-house. We've never had to take it to Ruben, but Yellow House is the one who takes care of it for us. But it's John Deere. Yours isn't John Deere. That's a case, so. But, and we just, like 2 or 3 years ago, we purchased a mini excavator. So, but, I mean, it's still going, so, but eventually, like everything, they don't last forever.
Well, the reason I raise it, wouldn't it be nice if we got ourselves in line with some common equipment across all the departments? So we understand where we're at, because we seem to operate independently from a maintenance standpoint and everything else. And then there's the opportunity to share when we need to share. Yeah, because we're struggling right now in terms of how much money we got to go do the things we need to get done. But I think, Gio, it'd be worthwhile to get all your heavy equipment department leaders together and have that discussion. I agree.
And sharing has gone on, correct? Hasn't the streets department shared with the water department?
Yes, to my knowledge,
Yeah.
we do have a little bit of that from
Yeah.
time to time, so, they
Yeah.
borrow from us and we borrow from them, we kind of do what we can. so.
Right.
I think one of the ones from the streets is, now, I don't think it's working.
Well, Eddie told me about that. It's not working anymore, and he said that a few years back, they tried to give it to the water guys. It never came through, but he says it's about $10,000 worth of repair. I just haven't looked into it, right? But I don't even know if it's worth looking into, but if I have time.
That one's old too.
Yeah, she's a
It's really
dinosaur.
old.
They're all.
I mean, you can put Band-Aids on them, but I think you're at that point, you're just spinning.
No, I get that. I will tell you, I was at the wastewater treatment plant 2 years ago, and I asked, what's that piece of equipment sitting over there? Oh, that's a backhoe. Like it was not working. Well, the mice got inside. So I just gotta tell you, we tend not to do a really good job in some cases taking care of our equipment. And once we got the wiring fixed, fire right up. So I agree, it'd be nice to have some new equipment. We're on life support, in my view, relative to equipment. So we have to figure out how to work the short term until we get the long term, we can go get the equipment we want.
I mean, we can still, like Ronnie said, and. We can still try to, Band-Aid it as best as we can, if that's our only option. We're gonna do it regardless, but. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I can't guarantee that. it's gonna-
I get, it. We're looking for
Yeah.
$1 million.
Yep.
$1 million, okay, because right now, we can't do the south side water system.
Right,
It's $1 million. We gotta figure out how to come up with $1 million. Okay, and so now it starts looking and saying, how do we work it collectively across all departments to figure out how to make it go?
mhm,
It'd be nice to do backhoe. I mean, you face that every day in a business. I face that every day in a business. Okay, and it may be on the short term. You may want a lease.
That's what I was just thinking about, checking on the lease.
Yeah. I mean, I could use a telehandler right now. I've got one. It's costing me $3,000 a month. Okay, a new telehandler, $100,000. I said for $3,000 a month, I'm gonna live with it right now until I can afford to go buy $100,000 telehandler.
sure, that makes sense. I guess that's an option. Obviously, that's an
Yeah.
option, so.
But it's not one that you need right now because it's. currently
No,
working.
no,
Yeah,
you're right.
so-
Yeah.
So
So
let's.
all
yeah.
in all, yeah.
So to me, that says $125,000.
That hurts me, but yeah.
Hold that right now. You gotta go lease one, you go lease one.
If it comes to that,
Yeah,
or we borrow from streets or
Yeah.
wherever.
Yeah, you're right, Rick. As painful as that sounds, because this sound a new backup sounds great,
yeah.
but I just. For the sake of our.
Yep.
Yep. Thanks for me to say. Feel a bit partner.
Yeah.
But if it
But
comes
it's-
down to lease. It should be all right.
Yeah.
If it comes down to that, and then, since you're leasing it, say you lease one from Case, Permian or whatever it's called there in Odessa, say. They maintenance everything, they come,
Exactly, yeah.
part of their agreement.
Yep.
Like our lease
So what would-
vehicles.
Well, I'm sure y'all would know, what would be that, like 70,000 a year, you think?
So right now I can tell you, my telehandler, I'm leasing for $3,000 a month, so it's 36,000 a year.
Okay.
They take care of maintenance and everything,
Oh,
and it's $100,000 unit.
I know a guy at Case that I could ask, and I can find out for you.
okay.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
good.
Get it over to you.
Yeah, we use equipment share, but Case has got good programs. There's a lot of them out there. There's no computer.
We have an account with Yellow House, they might be able to
Yeah.
help with something.
Yeah.
Heck, yeah, by all means.
I mean, we've dealt with them for many years.
Yep.
There's so many options. Look at it.
Okay. Fair enough.
So the other item are the CIP fire hydrants. We have 20,000. And I know that this was something that I had mentioned previously, that we do have the option on the fire department reserves, because I do know that we were discussing the possibility of replacing several fire hydrants for, I think there was an estimated cost of around 80,000. That you do have that option to purchase or fund that project with the reserves. Unless, of course, you do not wish to touch the reserves and keep that for, we would have to determine how we're going to utilize those funds in the future though. But that is an option that you have. And currently there is 20,000. That was the amount that I just rolled forward.
So remind us the fire hydrant reserve. My brain's dead on that.
Yeah, and I.
We use an 80,000 there.
Mhm.
We had 100.
It
It was from the last meeting. What was it? It was
think it was
150?
I believe so. I
think
do
it
bring that
was.
with me.
And where's the money for that?
It's in
I'm
an
sorry.
account, right, under the
Where's the-
reserves?
That is actually one that is in our investment account. And it's the one that is flagged, fire department reserves. Okay. I
Right.
have it
Right,
there.
the last package.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was in the last packet because we talked about it last.
And I did give the most current update on it last meeting. Where even if we utilize those 80,000 to fund the fire hydrant project, there would still be ample funds to use for future.
So I'm asking a more
Mhm.
fundamental question.
Okay,
Does it have to be used for fire hydrant?
no, sir, because that is was committed by the city council. So the council may elect to change the use or how to commit those funds.
It's just a broad category, right? It's for the
Well,
fire department.
when I,
The council
yes,
can allocate it to whatever's needed for the fire department, correct?
I conducted a little bit of research and I did recommend that we change the ordinance because the ordinance did state equipment.
Okay,
And so we could make it a bit more broad, instead of just saying equipment, because when it was presented and approved, we still had the fire department within the city of Alpine.
right.
And since we no longer house that, then we have the option to say it can fund our annual contribution, our fire hydrants or
anything else.
Right.
anything else.
I agree with you. I think we do need to amend that ordinance so that it
Mhm.
doesn't just say equipment.
And by that time, we can determine how you wish to commit those funds.
So again, I sound like a broken record, because I am. Can that money be allocated towards the hole we're trying to fill to help get Mike the funding he needs to take care of the water pressure system on the southeast side?
If I'm not mistaken, it can, but let me just double check and I can give you a definite on the 18th.
Good.
Because I do have the ordinances and I know I was just trying to keep it within that department. But I'll check to see if there are any restrictions, but I really don't think there are.
But if council has the latitude to
Mhm.
determine where it goes, then council can change the
Mhm.
ordinance.
Yes,
Okay,
and the only time that we do have restrictions is if it is from a special fund that was specifically designated for a certain area.
yeah, those tend to be outside of city council.
Mhm.
I'm with you there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll let you know for sure by the 18th.
And that was 150K.
It actually wasn't in the packet, it was supplemental, I gave it to y'all. I
Oh,
can go
that's-
check if you want me to.
It's
flip from the
okay, it's
packet.
okay, because we're 20 minutes left.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, we were like 218 and then we just took out 10 or 20,000 to supplement the income that they were asking for.
So it could be around $200,000.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes. So between the 200,000, in theory, I'm making this up as we go along, the backhoe 125,000. There's 375 or 325 out of $1 million. Keep on going, but I got more questions before.
Yeah.
What I did not find, any expenditures towards was the line maintenance. And, there is 150,000 that could also be used towards, whatever project we need or towards that $1 million deficit that we're.
But you need line maintenance.
Yeah, we need
That's
it.
just what I'm
Desperately.
buying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you got the Sunny Glen pool, take your pick. Yeah.
Hey, Mike,
Yes, sir.
is that what you just used to fix gardeners? Does it come out of that line item, sir? Or did that come out of distribution?
Line item, or line maintenance rather, sorry.
Okay,
When was this?
Or no, it came out of,
It has-
yeah, it did, I'm sorry. It
Distribution.
came out of distribution.
Okay, cause
okay. So do we know specifically what the line maintenance is going to? Since we
I-
kind of have two that kind of seem like they're the same but named differently, or do we have like more specific definition on what those or what falls under that?
I was not able to locate anything, because there, were no expenses in 23-24. It was minimal in 24-25, which appeared to be just operational. And in 24-25, there were no expenditures either. And so that's where I felt like this was one of those extras.
Uh-huh.
But I have not been able to locate anything that would show that we have dedicated those funds towards that. And that's where I wanted to go back with, where we do have the maintenance. That distribution system maintenance is the one that I saw a lot of expenses are just being charged to that account line item. That I would like for us to separate it a bit more for next time, just so that we can track it.
Which one, I'm sorry? Distribution system maintenance?
Yes,
Okay,
that's the one that I have seen has been used more towards operation,
okay.
whether it's contracted materials. But on the line maintenance, I have not really been able to find any expenditures tied into that within the past 2 years. And the previous year, it was only $2,000.
How much? 10,000?
2,000.
2,000.
That was in 22-23. And so 23-24 and 24-25, there were no expenditures in that line item.
Oh,
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Can I ask a question, Vicky? On electricity, do you see that where it's, and I could be wrong here, but what is this?
Oh, you're going with your,
Well, I just have it at
okay,
95,000.
and we pretty much spent most of it.
Okay, all right.
I didn't include the basic operational line items in this one,
Okay,
because I didn't feel like they were either over budgeted or under.
okay, yes, ma'am.
So we have that 150,000 there as well. That, if we wish to leave it in the budget and it could cover part of the expenditures that we know will be, working on different projects, right?
Yes.
so for that, I know, because the other three items on the list include the clay valves. Would that be something you could use to handle the clay valve maintenance, Mike, out at Sunny Glen?
Out of Sunny Glen? Yeah, we could. Yep.
I'm not trying to push one over the other, I'm just asking. How would you cover that? Because we know you gotta get those worked on.
Yeah, we can use Sunny Glen. Yeah, we can do that with clay valves.
Okay.
For the line maintenance?
Yes. For line maintenance?
That, just, I'm gonna put words in your mouth and you can say that sounds better or not. That may be better for upper lower hill valve working on, because that one will help you a lot to get that worked, because you probably haven't had a chance to figure out if you, when you dig those up. Is that more a line maintenance discussion? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because here's where my headset is. What I think as we've gone through, working our way through this, there's roughly 350,000 that says, hey, we can allocate it against getting Skyway Gardens taken care of. Mike's gonna go figure out how to, within his smart people, to work lead and copper. If maintenance can be under, can cover upper, lower hill, then we've probably found like $350,000 out of $1 million. Okay. We know it's gonna take Vicky until June to get comfortable with when are we really? Because I know, Mike, you guys been spending money on line maintenance. You guys been spending money on distribution systems. And she's got to figure out how it got accounted, because it got accounted somewhere. We just don't know where. So if we have found 350 and we got 650,000 to find, in my mind, that's much more palatable for us and allows them to proceed forward to get Skyway Gardens moving. It allows you to continue forward, and then we continue the dialogue as Vicky and Gio try to figure out where budget is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You know, it's all painful, but at least it allows us to move forward. Cause you got work got to get done,
Yeah, you're right.
you know?
Yeah.
And the backhoe, if you need it, you're gonna say, hey, Gio, Vicky, I gotta go lease it. You know, in the meantime, you're see if you can get it fixed, and Randy's gonna help you think about options to work. Rich will, to give you some ideas. But that's my sense about where we're at. We've not talked about the 250 and CIP and wastewater. In my mind, since none of that's been committed, and we know it has to come back to council at some point, there's another 250 that we know we gotta work long-term wastewater treatment plant, but there's another 250, that gets us a lot closer. And if that's put on hold, I'm a lot more comfortable saying, let's get on and not amend the budget during council to say, make it $1 million and press forward. Actually, I'd say 900,000. Yeah, does that work?
If I may, on the
Yeah.
250,000, and one of the things that I really am pressing for this year is that we definitely need purchase orders in place regardless of the type of project that we're funding. Because since we did not have anything in place, I did not have something telling me that part of the clarifier wastewater treatment program that is ARPA funded was general fund funded. So I did not take into consideration including that in the budget. But the more that I study this, on the wastewater treatment, we did have the CIP, the clarifier, which was the over 900,000 that are the ARPA funds. Right underneath it is CIP wastewater treatment project. So I was wondering if part of that 250,000 will help us cover what will not be funded with the ARPA. So in a way, if we could reserve it for that one, because the project is still ongoing and I don't have it in the budget right now.
Yep,
Mhm,
that
I
makes
think
sense.
so.
Thank you.
That makes no sense.
Okay, so you have 10 minutes.
Okay, so I will breeze through the others quickly because I think there are more items that Michael and I could probably visit
Yes, ma'am.
and go over, just because I was looking at what we actually spent or what we have in the budget. And I know that it was a difficult, or it was a different year to where probably not everything was expended as it should have, just because of the transition. So anything that really stood out, wastewater treatment facility maintenance, we do have 85,000. I'm back into the wastewater now. And in 2024, 2025, we only spent 7,284. And the budget was 85,000. Once again, there may be expenses that I need to reallocate while we go through the closing and the audit, but there is an 85,000 in there. Also with the wastewater treatment, we have collection system maintenance of 75,000. We only spent 37,000. Maybe a similar situation, but there are additional funds here that might be able to help us with what we're currently facing and what we need to budget for our future projects. There's the road repair also with wastewater, the 20,000 there. And yeah, and the other items, like I said, Mike and I can go over those on our own and get a little bit more of an idea as to where we stand. As far as the sanitation, there really isn't much leeway in that department. Oh, that one's that one is the wastewater,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sanitation,
Oh, yeah.
there isn't, on that one.
So
Okay.
you and Mike wanna go digest,
Mhm.
okay? And we on council will pass some more money for your department to go get Sunny Glen work done.
It's Skyway, right?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
sorry, yeah, Sunny, Skyward Garden State, okay, yeah, Skyward.
The clay valves,
That's the, my view would do $1 million, that allows you to work clay valves and skyway gardens. Because you don't know what you're gonna find in clay valves. Yeah,
Do you feel more comfortable now?
Comfortable?
Uh-huh.
It's, I don't know, comfortable is the word we want to use, but let's.
More
So-
positive.
Sure.
We'll
sure,
do it
we'll
on
stay
the road.
positive on
We're
it.
on the right track.
Yeah,
We're
so
going
we're
forward.
proactive. I guess proactive is.
Yeah.
So we're.
And if they approve the budget amendment this evening, on the next meeting, we'll have the agreement with Jacob Martin and they'll start handling all of the Skyway stuff, including bidding up the
Okay.
construction. So
Okay,
I don't really think it's gonna be too burdensome on you all. You might have to do things here and there, obviously,
okay.
but a lot of that would be handled by them and the construction, people who win the bids.
What about the 100,000 for the booster pump?
Is that part of the Skyway Garden? Do you remember? Skyway Garden?
I don't think it was, but
which,
it was one of the 4 things that
so
they recommended that we work.
Upper Hill,
right
Lower
away.
Hill.
It was the one that was mothballed.
Yeah, Upper
It
Hill.
never
Lower Hill.
worked.
Yeah, it's Upper
Yeah.
Hill.
So
Lower
it's upper.
Because they
Hill.
just needed what? They needed to see They
Yeah,
needed
yeah.
some excavation to see
Yeah,
how.
we're
the-
trying to excavate it, so then maybe Andy could get his eyes on it, because that's the one they think that they,
Yes,
Correct.
yeah, and then he estimated 100K for that.
Well, that was first, and it was gonna be, so long as your backhoe works, you're gonna dig it out.
yes, sir, correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, so where was the 100,000 coming from?
We don't
Was that
know yet, but
Andy's fee or?
right now it's gonna be dig it
Cost.
out, find out what's going on.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why he estimated 100K.
Oh, he had no idea. Yeah, Andy didn't know. My view, dig and come back and talk,
Fair enough. Yeah, we can do that.
because we've thrown a lot at you tonight,
Yes,
okay?
let alone you have leaks and all that you have to take
Yeah.
care of.
Have y'all discussed the gas side of Valley Garden?
We have not.
It's in their contract. We got the blueprints and it specifically says that we will be installing all of that for them.
Oh, lovely.
Where did you see that in the contract?
In the blueprint that we got, Jessica went over there to talk to, I can't remember his name.
Roy,
Roy,
Right.
Yeah.
And so he emailed her the blueprints and they are requesting, and it specifically says in one of the line items on the blueprint that we will be the ones installing all of that for them.
so is it in
the
the
contract.
annexation agreement? So the key is, there's an agreement between the city and Skyway Gardens. My recollection is our job ends at the road. They're responsible for everything on their property.
Yeah,
And
the
fixing
developer-
that
Highway
road.
Garden one, when they requested the tap, it was given to them. We never charged them a fee that I can remember.
So it says the city will provide the development with retail gas services. The developer will construct an off-site gas main extension to city standards from the development to the city's existing gas main located on the north side of Lechergy Street.
So we do not provide it.
This off-site gas extension will be shown on the USP. The city will own, operate, and maintain the off-site gas extension. Developer will construct all on-site gas facilities required to serve the development. And developer will construct, operate, and maintain the on-site gas system in accordance with all applicable local, state, and federal laws.
So what do we have to do, Randy, to get it to them so they can develop going out?
Getting it to them, we already have, we ran a 2-inch main with that first tap. All I have to do is do a main extension back to the project.
Okay, but yeah, so it's their responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah, and we will own it. You're gonna own it after they do it. They do all
That's
the stuff.
exactly what, they contracted it out, which was actually the people that we get qualified from, it's gas team.
Yep.
They hired them,
Okay,
and then they just gave us all the paperwork.
Okay,
to maintain
okay.
it.
yeah, so they got installed.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. But yeah, we'll gladly do the tap.
Yep, okay. Good,
That won't take us but a couple of days.
super.
All right.
All right, and with
That was
that,
good.
yeah, it was.
Hey, Rob, you
Good.
good? You still there?
Is there?
I'm
Robert,
sorry, say again, I couldn't hear you.
Are you all good?
Are you good?
We're
Yes,
about
I'm
to
good.
adjourn. All right, and with that, we adjourn the workshop.